Today, there was fireworks in the National Assembly. And that fireworks was during the debate of the Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021. And due to that fracas, John Mbadi, who is the Suba South MP, was suspended from the National Assembly and will miss 5 next consequent sittings, including these sittings that are going on towards this towards this bill. This is after he punched Soin MP, Benard, who actually also later on went to the hospital, and it was just around this bell. So one thing I can ask is, why do you think there is a very strong and hurried push by pro-handshake team to make sure that this bill passes on? And another one, why do you think that William Ruto is really putting all efforts to make sure that this bill is blocked? So I'm going to answer those 2 questions. I'm going to frame my analysis in those 2 perspectives. Then I'll bring you to what happened today. So question number 1, why do you think Raila Odinga wants this bill to go through? Because this is the bill that is going to harbor, that is going to breathe fresh air to the new Azimio la Umoja. Because that's what Raila is going to use for his presidency. So this bill, the two really clauses that are very critical to Raila, I think after its passage, if it goes through, I will do another comprehensive video to talk about this bill. But there are 2 very important ones that are saying that parties forming coalition are supposed to submit coalition agreements to the Registrar of Political Parties 6 months to general election. So that means that if this bill is passed now, because election is in August, these parties are supposed to deposit those coalition agreements by February. So that is a very good move, because Raila Odinga wants to make coalition with these other parties, these other small parties. So what will happen? And again, that law also says that once you've been part of one coalition, you cannot now move out of that coalition. So the advantage is you can vie as a president, or you can seek any other elective post, either as a coalition candidate or as a political party candidate. So that's the catch, because Raila Odinga might not now vie with ODM, but will vie under Azimio la Umoja. Because if he vies with ODM, then his stakes are small. But under the Azimio la Umoja, it's a big house where he's going to get the support of other small parties. So what the advantage is, if this bill passes, which I believe is going to happen, then all these people around, all these small parties around Raila that are part of Azimio la Umoja will commit to work with him as early as February. Because it's going to be the framework of forming coalitions. Even these people who are still at crossroads, the OCA members, will have to make decision after this bill is passed. Now, that is one reason why Raila Odinga is so much interested in this. So another question is, why do you think Ruto is going all out to block the bill? Then he's going all out to block the bill because this bill is supporting his opponent, while the UDA team, they have said they're not interested in forming coalitions. So, of course, not that the bill is so bad, because there are some other aspects, some other clauses there talking about the disciplinary of errant members. That applies both to Azimio la Umoja, ODM party, or UDA, all the other political parties. So that applies to all. But then the issue was on the timing. They wanted the issue of depositing the coalition agreements be done 3 months to general election. So that has been there. So today, there was the debate in the National Assembly. It was a special sitting that was called. This special sitting was called after the first attempt on 22nd December last week failed terribly. When UDA members ganged up, they came up with amendments. It was a very well-written script. They came up with amendments and delayed it. So those amendments were taken to the Justice Legal Affairs Committee, who are doing what is called harmonization or rather winnowing. And yesterday, a meeting that was supposed to do that harmonization brought together the members of the committee, including Aden Duale and Kimani Chungwa, but that also did not happen because these MPs, because there was these UDA MPs who were committed to shoot down the bill, they walked out of that meeting. And they walked out of that meeting saying that some of the people who are invited there, like Register of Political Parties, are persona non grata because the process should be purely parliamentary. So the strategy that William Ruto was using is to whip his members to delay it. Because the more they delay, the more that bill is ongoing. For example, let us just get it clear. If this dilly-dallying goes on until somewhere like 20th January, then the bill is passed maybe around 23rd, President assents to bill maybe in the next 2 days, it will be, if it starts working, it's supposed to start implementing. It cannot be implemented in February. So the 6 months clause might be reduced. So that is one. Now today, why Mbadi was chased from the National Assembly, this is what happened. William Ruto's team was so organized to shoot down the bill, and they came up with some amendments in the floor just to try to add in some amendments in the bill. So one of the amendments, there were some amendments that was brought forward by Kimani Chungwa, Kikuyu MP, Owen Baya, and I think Dagoretti South MP, John Kiarie. So all those were trashed by the speaker because he said that they were unconstitutional and needed public participation. So today, Alice Wahome also came up with some amendment, and amendment to that bill was trying to to talk about the registration of coalitions, and was just trying to say that this is unnecessary. So when Alice moved that motion, Amos Kimunya rose and opposed it. Remember, Amos Kimunya is the majority leader in the National Assembly. Then at that moment, the speaker, Chris Omulele, who was the interim speaker, was left with no option but to float a motion, the ayes and nays. And there was that fracas. And just the same script that UDA was having, Aden Duale proposed that let the members do the fiscal voting. Even this issue of calling for the fiscal voting was just intentional to make sure that the process is delayed. So during this fiscal voting, the Benard Koros MP, the MP, Soin MP, tried to vote for a member of parliament who was not in the parliament. Now that is what caused the fracas between Benard Koros and John Mbadi. So that's what happened, the drama and the fight and the punches and the chaos. And after that, it was stalled. The session was stopped for around 10 minutes. Then when they came back, the voting was done. So when the voting was done, Alice Wahome, or rather UDA team, lost 158 versus 154. So that went. Then secondly, Aden Duale also had some amendment that was saying that political parties or rather these coalitions must deposit their ideologies, just like the UDA have their bottom up. So Azimio la Umoja, they were also saying that they need to put up their ideology to the register of political parties. That also was shot down, and I just want to confirm to you here that that lost 150 to 136. Now the other amendment that passed was This one by, I think, an MP who said that the dominant party in a coalition, the colors of a dominant party in a coalition are the ones that should reign supreme. So I think that loud, and that one, that amendment passed 123 verses 118. Now, so guys, look here. At the end of the day, I mentioned that William Ruto doesn't have a problem with this bill. But the issue is, it is just a test of might. It is just a test of my strength in the National Assembly. He's just trying to oppose this bill just to try and measure his strength and whether these people are people who can be so loyal to him. So what happened? That even the whole day session, I think almost 10 hours, they passed only 3 amendments. And this was the delay tactic by United Democratic Alliance side.